Hi guys, welcome to yet another amazing video in which we are going to see how to go about choosing the best domain name for your affiliate marketing website. Now, this could be for a website, it could be just for, your business. At the end of the day, since we are doing this with email marketing, you just need it, because later on when we will be talking about building your own website, we are going to also use it. You will also be using it, to create your own custom email domain. Now, whenever you are going about choosing a domain name, there are things that you need to keep in mind to make sure that you choose the best domain. Now, in our last video, we went through, how to pick or even choose or generate a domain name using the power of domain name generators. And in that video, I also shared with you some of the things to keep in mind. Now, in this video, I've gone on to list other things that you also need to keep in mind when you are choosing your domain name. Now let's see them quickly so that you understand exactly what is actually required of you, when you are going about trying to get yourself a domain name. Now the first thing is that choose a .com extension. Now while there are so many top level domains in the market, .org, .net, .coms are still the most desirable of them all. And even though you might not exactly get the .com you want, say you are looking for something and that domain name is not there, because that .com has already gone, because seeing as they are still the most desirable, that means that the majority of people coming on online, they are choosing .coms. They've got it has got that commercial value that everyone wants. Plus it's easier, and that's what people are used to. So by using a good domain modifier, you can still have your way. That means if you find that your domain name is not available, you can just add another modifier to it. But a good thing is that the second point, we are going to also discuss exactly also what you need to do when you are dealing with modifiers. But it will still be much better than using the alternatives out there, that is other .shop, .what, other extensions. It will be better to add a modifier and use a .com domain other than using other extensions. And even for SEO purposes, .com is also going to help you. Now the second point is that rule is that keep it short, memorable and descriptive, in that it explains what your business is all about. We are here currently on this channel, we are talking about affiliate marketing. So that means if I'm choosing a domain name, it has got to have that A and B thing going on. So now, as you can see, a one word or two worded descriptive domains are the best options. But if you can't find something that fits this criteria, add a third word modifier. Like you can see for myself, it's affiliate marketing beginners. So at the end of the day, you find that if the good thing is that you should aim to have just a single worded domain. But if you can't get it, go to 2. If you can't still get it, go to 3. But at least ensure that it is actually short, memorable, and also descriptive when you are going that way. But don't add a fourth modifier to it. It is going to be too long. And like I also shared in our last video, when you are going about creating your own custom email domain, it will look really funny if you've got something that is too long. You want it short, memorable and descriptive, straight to the point, catchy, something that looks good, something that it can be branded, something that is brandable. Being also the third rule, if possible, try also to make your domain name brandable. That's what we are just discussing. Not just descriptive, memory, or short, but also brandable. So this might mean coming up with a totally unique words in your domain name. It could be just a play of words here and there, but at least, trying to, ensure that you are keeping all these things in mind. For instance, I do share with you an amazing, platform called Wealthy Affiliate. As you can see, their domain name is only two. There are only two things, wealthy affiliate, and you just know, they are all about affiliate marketing and all about, as you can see, building wealth and all that. Even from the domain name, you can, kind of tell what it's all about. Plus, this is something that they've built an amazing brand out of. This is a very good example. Another thing will be brandbucket.com. As you can see, this is just a website, where they deal, with brands, coming up with amazing brands and all that. But as you can see, if you're trying to have a startup and you don't know, have a name picked up already, going to Brand Bucket is going to, give you that, amazing brandable domain, or rather name, that you can go with an amazing also, domain name available for it. So as you can see, there are two examples of domain names that actually are following through with all these rules. There are only two words, it's not long, it's short, memorable, descriptive, it has got everything going on. Now the fourth rule is going to be, it has to be also easy to spell, to type, and to pronounce. Now, you ensure your domain isn't a bit of a mouthful for people. You, like I said, if you add, like forwards, in a domain name, it's going to be a whole lot for someone to pronounce all that. Plus, it's also going to be tricky, for someone to try to, explain it or type it. It's going to really be, taxing on people. So this is the reason why trying as much as possible to keep your domain short is important, because you want it to be very easy. Think of something like Google, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. As you can see, they are descriptive. You can kind of tell what it's all about. I mean, Google, this was a very unique one, because at the time I don't believe that people knew what Google was all about. Twitter, as you can see, YouTube, but with YouTube you can kind of tell, about you. WhatsApp, you can tell, it's like, TikTok, Instagram. As you can see, they are trying as much as possible to put all these things in, and that's what you're also supposed to also do for your, domain name. So try to come up with something that is actually appealing and is also following through with all these rules. Try as much as possible. So that means, coming up with your own domain name, also using, what we discussed in our last video, whereby you are using, the power and also the help of domain name generators. You have to also come up with you are going to have to take some time, but in the end you are going to land on something that is also going to make you very happy. So the fifth rule and also point is that you just avoid hyphens and numbers, in your domain name. Now, a good general rule of thumb is to avoid the use of hyphens and numbers in your domain. Not only does this lower your domain's perceived value, because it's not appealing to look at, and also can lead to usage error by customers when they forget to include them and they land on a competitor's site, costing you business, but also because it also violates the easy to spell, type, and pronounce rule that we've just discussed. Now imagine if, Brand Bucket or Wealthy Affiliate, they add maybe an hyphen over here and maybe, 24, trying, or 2 or 365, trying to tell you that, it's you are getting, wealthy with affiliate marketing for 365 days. Now imagine saying wealthy hyphen affiliate 365.com. Imagine all that in a domain name, it's violating so much, brand hyphen bucket, and maybe something, 24 hours, .com. As you can even tell from me just giving out those examples, avoid hyphens and numbers in there. Just keep things short, nice, and simple. The sixth point, make sure that also you are thinking, you are long-term minded. So that means that the domain name that you come up with, it needs to have that element of flexibility. Now, if you think your business might expand in the future, beyond your original idea, don't pin yourself into a corner by building on a domain that's not flexible. Example, you might have niched down to keto diet recipes for weight loss in the beginning. That is the affiliate, marketing, a business idea that you have, you want to be only marketing, products in the keto diet, but, dealing with the recipes for weight loss. So, these are the affiliate products that you are promoting. You want to get in just that business. And because, niching down, you are trying to also avoid the competition and all that, that's how you want to begin. But as you can see, but as your affiliate, business grows, you might decide, for instance, in future to expand to other recipes offered, in other weight loss diet programs. You may decide, oh, you saw some other thing that is also doing good, that is all about weight loss, and it's a recipe, but it's not keto, like your original idea, but you are feeling okay, since you're having a really good success with keto, you might branch off to a different recipe program for weight loss that you feel that a lot of people are looking for. For instance, if you chose, for instance, ketoweightrecipes.com as your domain name, it will be hard for you, unlike if you went with something like weightrecipes.com. With weightrecipes.com, not only can you be speaking of keto diet recipes for weight loss and all, you can also, in fact, even change the entire idea. For instance, you don't even want to talk about keto anymore. You want to go a different route. You've realized maybe keto is not the thing that you want to also continue going with that, probably for some other reasons unknown, probably too competitive, you're not doing well as you think you thought you would, or rather, or so any for whatever reason, the latter could help you do a whole lot more in terms of different diet recipes geared to weight loss, than the former. And also you can also change your original idea. And at the end of the day, it's going to be flexible, because if you do decide to go with something else that is not keto, probably you decide, what, I'm going to go with some other way of losing weight out there, using some tough recipes. For instance, it could be fruit based, it could be something totally different, that does not involve having to all this play around with proteins and all this and all that. If you do decide something else, this is going to be easier for you, because as you can see, as long as it has got that weight in there, recipes, you can decide to do however you want. In fact, you could also come up with a recipes thing that actually focuses on people gaining weight. There are always some people who want to gain weight. With this domain name, type of a domain name, you're going to have a lot of flexibility, more than this one. So as you can see, this is just an example of long-term flexibility that your domain name needs to also encompass. So make sure that you also watch out for this, because like I told you earlier, personally, I've gone through, registered so many domain names, tried to implement them. Then I came around and realized, several, say a few years down the line too, I'm trying now to change things, I'm trying to expand, I'm trying to, and then I realized that the domain name I used, it was too restrictive, such that if you do decide to change, the core idea of your business, that domain name is not going to blend anymore. Most of times I was forced, to split the domain, to split the website, into two blogs, so because, the way I want to expand, it's not allowing me. The domain is not allowing, so I'm forced to just split the entire website into two, so that I might have some that room, that flexibility to do whatever I want. But you find that when you do that, you start affecting so much. For instance, you have to deal with SEO, redirects, whatnot, and it's all because of this thing of not trying. At least you have to look long term, think long term when it comes to your domain name, because personally this is something that I've struggled with, and I've learned from it the hard way. You don't have to. Now, the seventh rule, avoid repeating letters if possible. For instance, in line with the easy to spell, type and pronounce rule, kindly try to stay away from domain names with repeating letters. Now, what do I mean by this? Imagine something going with a domain name like healthsmith.com. Now, it sounds nice, it's healthsmith. I mean, it's all there. It's all about health. This is someone that is very, very good at whatever it is that they are doing. But it will be easy for you to go with something like healthsmith.com. It's out there. The reason is out there. It would be much better to go with it than something like smithhealth.com. As you can see now, there are some repeating As you can see over here, there are some repeating, letters. Healthsmith, smithhealth.com is not the same as healthsmith.com. Healthsmith.com, there's the room for error is rather very small, but over here it's high, because someone may forget to type a single H, and all of a sudden it's still Smith Health, it's still being pronounced the same, but it's not actually landing one on the same website. It's actually totally two different websites, and if your competitor is also in that niche, doing the same thing, that business is going to go to them. And I'm telling you, people are always, you have to realize one thing. There are so many, worse examples that are real out there. And you'll come across all these things, Realize not everyone participated in a spelling bee competition, that they have to commit to mind that, such and such a website has got a repeating letter to it. Even Twitter, they got away with it. But Twitter, it's simple. It's just one word. You can easily tell where there's some repeating letters and all that, but this involves two, and sometimes can be even three. When there are some repeating letters in there, you're making work so difficult, and the room for error, increases. Even in simple everyday words, something like committee, embarrass, people do struggle with this one, so you keep it easy for people. Don't make things hard. Just keep it as simple and direct as possible. In such a case, kindly go with something like healthsmith.com. Try to avoid going with smithhealth.com. Try. This is what I'm talking about when I'm speaking of repeating letters. Now, let's go to the 8th point. Now, on here, we are going to try as much as possible, whenever you are choosing your domain name, try to avoid any possible trademark issues. If a name is trademarked out there, don't try to come and play around with your with that name, because you can be sued for these things. Like I'm even trying to explain over here is that it's also important to ensure that the domain you choose does not infringe on any business's trademarks. This is because you can be shut down or was sued if a business believes your chosen domain name could possibly be confused with their trademark. And this is irrespective of what your business does, whether the purpose of your business is different from theirs or not, infringing on their trademark or not. It won't matter, as long as they think and they feel that the name that you've chosen for your business might in any way be confused with their trademark. They are going to come at you hard, and they can shut you down, and probably you've built up your business for a while. These things do happen online so many times. That's why sometimes you come around, you find that a website is saying that they are changing, they are moving to a different domain, they are doing this, they're doing things. Some of these things is because of just trademark issues. They decide, let's just rebrand to something else, because the people who are suing them, or rather trying to shut them down, they are they've got the trademark, they've got the power, they've got the capability to really enforce their trademarks wherever it is that they feel as though they are getting infringed upon. So make sure that whenever you are coming with a domain name, you are trying to save yourself also from that headache and drama. Do your due diligence. This name that you are choosing, could it be in any way violating some businesses out there in some way? Try as much as possible to come up with names that are actually something that you can even you yourself trademark, so that others don't even use. But try to stay away from things, brands. For instance, you cannot try to be creative with a name like Google. For instance, you say, no, you know what, let me say mine will be called, some Gagal or something like this. As you can see over here, it's not the same thing. This one is Gaggle, but as you can see, it can be easily be confused with Google. Registering something like this, you're just calling, Google to yourself. They are going to tell you no. This one, the format that you are using is not really, and more so when your business starts picking up, that's when they come. It's not when you are beginning. When you are beginning, no one knows about you. No one is going to bother you. It's when your business is actually now starting to take off. It's actually now, you've built a name for yourself. That's when they come now. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm speaking about headache and drama. That is the point you don't want. You've put in the work, you've put in the effort, the blood, the sweat, the tears, everything to build that affiliate business up, or that business of yours up, and then they come at you when you are actually doing well. Now you have to start convincing everyone that you are moving to some other place. Try to avoid all this. Try to do your due diligence. Ensure that the domain name that you come up with, it's actually a domain name that you can use long term, something you can trademark, something that is not going to land you in some lawsuits and all this. Try to avoid all these things. Now basically these are 8 examples, or rather rules or things to keep in mind. Some other things you'll always educate yourself on, but these are the things that if you keep in mind, you are going to come up with an amazing domain name that you can use for affiliate marketing website that is actually going to have a high perceived value out there in the market. Now in wrapping up, once you find a good domain name to use, for your affiliate marketing business and all that, a good place to register this domain, it will be with Namecheap. Now Namecheap is a domain name that I've used for years on end now. I do love their deals. They normally have some amazing deals going on. As you can see, even for a domain name like .com, you can get an amazing deal whereby even for under $7 you get it, rather than having to get it at $14. As you can see, it's just a few cents to $14 over here. But as you can see, with Namecheap, there are some amazing deals going on. Yeah, you can get online, someone saying, they can give you, something for less and all that. But in our future videos, I'm also going to share with you some other registrars that you can also consider, that I've used personally, and that you can also use to, get some amazing, .com, deals, for your domains that you are trying to register. Now, the good thing about Namecheap is that there are some things that they are going to give you that you may not necessarily get them on some other registrars. Some things you'll find that they are free. For instance, this 2 months trial, for custom email and all this, they're also going to give you a free lifetime privacy protection. Do you know that this is something that you normally add as an add-on, whereby you have to pay some extra money in some other registrars? Yeah, this one you do pay. It's not normally given for free, but with Namecheap, they do add it for free, just to ensure that they are giving you the best service possible. Now, as you can see, when it comes to renewal, it's $13. It goes back to the original. But do remember, even when this time comes, they will always have coupons and deals going on still to even waive this down some more. Truly, Namecheap is actually truly Namecheap. You are going to get your name for cheap. And the good thing is that the service is not compromised in whatever way. So even when you have some other domain somewhere, you can transfer for real cheap over to Namecheap. And as you can see, they do give you the flexibility of buying your domain name and registering it for several years, so that at least gives you that peace of mind that it's not just going to drop for some reason or that. So as you can see, they do give you a whole lot that is going to be included for you. So as you can see over here, they are also having some other extensions, but these are what I've told you, that try to stay away from it all. So basically, as you can see over here, Namecheap is a good place to come and buy your domain, host your domain with them. So do consider. I'm going to leave a link to them below. Come in, see the deals that are currently available for you. Take action, and then just register your amazing domain name for your affiliate marketing business. Now this brings us to the conclusion of this video and how to choose the best domain name for your affiliate marketing business. Now if you found it helpful, insightful, ensure that you subscribe to this channel, hit the thumbs up button, share with whoever out there is looking to buy a domain name, so that they make a guided decision when it comes to this matter. Now that's it for this video, and until the next one, stay blessed and God bless you.